Tank Group. We welcome all listeners and chatters. Any questions can be called in to 1-775-657-5973. 1-775-657-5973. If you're in the chat room on Wolf Spirit Radio, which is wolfspiritradio.com/wolfchat, please post questions in uppercase letters, in capital letters. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Earth Mind Think Tank Group on Wolf Spirit Radio. And we're here all bright and cheery this morning and wondering what the heck's going on. It seems like we're having some solar flare attacks that could have caused disruption in the past few days, but I haven't heard of anything. And we have a hurricane churning out in the Mexican Ocean that our thinking is that could be beneficial if we can get it to come in further north and hit the drought areas of Southern California. So we'll take a look at that. And does anyone else have any concerns for the day you'd like to express and work with? If not, we'll move right along and go right into the meditation then. And one major concern is that Iraq is because of the change in leadership. The old Maliki is trying to maintain his dictatorship or get it reinforced. So he's instigated some attacks in northern Iraq and blaming them on the terrorists, of course, so that he can create martial law and throw out the election. But we're hoping that won't happen. We'll put some energy in that direction also. But right now, let's get into Earth Mind and communicate with Earth Mind and see what's happening there. As always, we begin our meditation by accessing the subconscious mind, and through that, we can reach out and touch everything through the psychic centers. So get in a very comfortable, relaxed position now. Take your deep breath, and on the outhale, move it deeper in the forehead. Step back now, moving and relaxing deeper. Pausing in the soul center to reach out laterally and touch into everyone in the group mind. Extend that attunement on out into the Wolf Spirit Radio grid. The energy does feel rather strange today. I'm thinking it could be a response to the solar flares and the after effects of the magnetic bursts. It seems like dense, like there's not much energy. Everything's kind of flat. Now move your awareness on back deeper. Back to the psychic center. Now in the psychic center, let's reach out into group mind consciousness of all humans and pull them together. It's like coming in attunement with everyone and stepping out of this isolation and aloneness we're feeling at the moment. That isolation and alonement breaks down our communication skills, our group mind effort to accomplish things. And that's more on the conscious level. This is a center where we use our conscious mind to access the group mind consciousness, the psychic grid. Now take a step further back. And as you step back, you move into an expanded state of consciousness. It just feels like stepping backward off of a cliff. But that letting go of the conscious mind is what's essential to access the subconscious. Now, as we do this, we feel a pressure within our brains, kind of an encapsulated alone feeling. I'm sure now that is a response to the electromagnetic burst around the Earth. And so let's go into the subconscious mind, drop down through the chakra system to the 0 point in the heart. And I'm feeling the same thing here. So let's drop on down the spine into the root chakra. Now lower down, step down deeper into earth mind. Yeah, now we're beginning to feel the intensity of this. What this enclosed feeling of being limited is this is earth mind closing down and instinctively reacting to the solar flares, the electromagnetic bursts that hit us successfully a few days ago, and so everything's shut down in earth mind. So let's go to Gaia now and communicate with Earth and say, Gaia, we just send our intent out through earth mind to the devas that hold the form of this protective shield. Earth devas, please relax this shield now so we can be more open and can use our abilities more freely to help earth mind. And we're going to do that by going into the earthquake grid, accumulating energy.
Frank, pardon me, let me interrupt for just a moment. We keep getting a caller from 952 and I'm declining. I'm not accepting any callers this morning.
It's Mike Andrek. He's here in Minneapolis and he wants to listen into the show.
I'm sorry, I don't have a call-in to listen number.
Oh, it's listed in your contact information.
It is
I
listed.
apologize.
It's not listed as a call-in to listen number.
Oh, okay. It was listed under your name. I apologize.
And so that's an example of communication problems, and that's what we're experiencing working with right now. Drop your awareness back in again, deeper into earth mind, and feel that lack of communication. What we just heard is symptomatic of what's happening all over the world. We use our desire and will and reach up into the grid, the oversoul grid, into the golden grid. And here's where we feel more strongly. Actually, in the grid, it feels like a weakness that where our grid was actually used up pretty much by the electromagnetic fields coming in, the solar flares. And so drop your attention back down into earth mind, Gaia. We will reinforce the grid now to protect earth, but you have to loosen up and allow us to communicate. So we just send our intent to strengthen the grid out into the Devic forces of consciousness that are protecting Earth right now. And we feel the relaxing as the Earth grid opens up and allows communication. And we will go directly to Southern California now. And Davis, please notice and help us with this. There's a myriad of small earthquakes building up in Southern California and releasing. We create our umbrella of energy up out of the earth, carrying that energy up our spines and out into the golden shield to strengthen earth against any future electromagnetic strikes that may come in. And there are other solar spots building up that have that potential. So our intent is to lift the energy from the earthquake grid, upper spines, distributed around the earth, strengthening our protective shield. Move your awareness further northward to San Diego. All up along the San Andreas Fault, all the way up to San Francisco. Continue lifting, clearing, reinforcing the golden grid. Northward all the way up to the Oregon line where the San Andreas becomes the San Juan de Fuca plate. Now move into the Sierra Nevada mountains, full length of the border of California. A lot of energy releasing there. These are small quakes, but they may be responding in earthquake in activity to the magnetic forces that hit us. Lift those energies upward. Thank you, Divas. We feel you relaxing now as we strengthen the golden grid again. And that allows our communication system to open up and be more enhanced. Now take your awareness to the Rocky Mountains, all the way down through Utah. Lift those energies upward. Go to the Yellowstone. Minor activity to the northwest of the Yellowstone right now. Lift that upward, clear the cauldron. Now take your awareness into the Pacific Northwest. Scattered activity from subduction activity all the way inland to central Washington and along the Cascade Range. Now move northward to the Alaskan-Canadian border, right at just off inside the Coast Range there, that subduction zone. And Valdez, a lot of activity. Lift that upward. Now take your awareness to south central Alaska in the subduction zone where the Pacific plate is subducting under the Alaskan plate. A lot of scattered activity there. This is ongoing. We can accumulate a lot of energy from this source. Lift that upward into the golden grid. Now you may notice in our psychic grid, the denseness is relaxing, getting less. We're opening up more and more all the time. Take the awareness down the illusion chain, minor activity in the mid portions. All the way to Russia. Now drop down the Kamchatka Trench to Japan. Some inlet activity in Japan. The 5.2 at Ofinato. Now drop southward to Taiwan along the Japan Trench to Taiwan. Mid-ocean activity there. Now southward into the Philippines and the Philippine Trench. Activity all the way through the Philippines. It's mid-range. Pull those energies off before anything big can release. Now move southward to Indonesia and the Indonesian crescent that borders the Java Trench. Only minor activity there today. That's unusual. Drop into that area now and lift anything that's building up that could become a major quake in that area. Lift those energies upward. Yeah, as I scan that region, about in the central part of Indonesia, there's intense pressure just north of Bandung. Release that around Jakarta. Now move eastward beyond New Guinea to the Solomon Sea. There's sub-ocean activity there. Some of these are large enough to actually cause minor tsunamis. Lift that upward. And on to the Solomons. To Vanuatu, and eastward to the Tonga Trench. South along the Kermadec Trench to New Zealand. Some inland activity that's responsive to a volcano at Waiouru. Now move eastward to South America. There's widely scattered activity now in the Andes Mountains, full length of Chile. Mid-range activity, lift that upward in response to the Peru-Chile Trench. And northward through Peru, more Andes activity, lift that upward. And northward into Colombia. Then to the Middle America Trench, bordering Guatemala. This subduction zone, lift that upward. Now move eastward to the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. A scattering of activity there. Now move your awareness eastward to the Mediterranean. Very low activity. Some in the Cyprus Trench, south of Turkey. And virtually no activity in the inland of Tibet and China. Move eastward across the Pacific back to our point of beginning. And on inland in the United States. There's an intensification of activity in Oklahoma, north of Oklahoma. In response to the fracking, and on across this New Madrid Fault. Some activity there. And on into Tennessee, North Carolina, some fracking activity there. Now come back to our point of beginning. Bring your awareness upward now. Out of earth mind, but feel now, just pause to feel your system is open. You can reach out and touch again. We've cleared the shock, the trauma of earth mind, of the electromagnetic burst of the sun. But I made shown that we need to strengthen the intent of the golden grid, to go into the golden grid now by moving up the spine, right out through the crown chakra, up through oversoul, and out into the golden grid. And you feel it's much stronger now. So we put our intent into the golden grid to protect the earth from the electromagnetic burst from the sun, to catch that energy so it does not cause earthquakes or telecommunication blackouts. We see those activities looking into the future, coming into the ionosphere, striking the golden grid and circling around the earth and out the solar winds on the other side. yes, it's possible too. And this happens. This is already programmed into the solar flares, that as they absorb, as the golden grid absorbs the solar flares, it strengthens. That energy is transmuted into strengthening the golden grid. And they feel the grid becoming more dense. And remind the devas that the golden grid is a repulsing energy that repulses. So as the electromagnetic activity comes in, whatever the polarity is, the golden grid automatically repulses by creating a similar polarity that will repel. And we feel that happening. Now take our awareness back to the surface of the earth and to the weather patterns. And the request has been made that we look to the hurricane building in the South Pacific that is moving in the direction of Mexico, that we swing that up the coast so the moisture associated with it can come into the southwestern United States to help the drought. And we see that happening now. We see the high pressure system breaking down that's sitting over the southern United States, moving eastward, allowing more Pacific moisture to come in. Now bring your awareness back into your own spine, back into your own system. Raise up to the group mind consciousness of humans on Earth. Take your awareness to the political systems around the world that are struggling to understand and to find dominion and to create dominion in our reality. We especially direct this intent to Iraq. And here we're feeling the galactic flows coming in and building up, giving us energy to work with. Into the people of Iraq want peace. They want a standardized, uniform working government. And so we see the domination force of the Maliki people weakening in their intent to cause disruption and prevent the election of the new governors of Iraq. We turn an opposition force against them. We turn their own enmity back against them. Domination always self-destructs, so allow these units to self-destruct by fighting each other. We see people, Maliki's people, turning against him. Many are already fleeing the country because they expect to lose. And we look into the future and see the country stabilizing, the reevaluation occurring, and that's the trigger point to stimulate the reevaluation of 188 countries around the world, moving into a gold-backed system, financial system, releasing the Federal Reserve and the fiat money system to allow that to disintegrate. We see the capitalistic fiat structure where only 5% of the people own 95% of the assets. We see that structure breaking down, corporations becoming managed by the employees, ownership passing to the employees. We see the employees working in dominion to support each other and to distribute their products. So there's a nurturing for everyone involved. And we see that religious structures breaking down that are so involved in the financial affairs of the world. As the fiat money system breaks down, so does their hold on the financial structures of the world. Now we draw our attention to humanity in general. Take our point of attention to the 0 point within ourselves and the resonance of connection to everyone else in the world, to the Spirit Center. And we ask for unconditional love to come from the galactic flow now. We feel it resonating out our hands into the grid, the conscious and unconscious grid of the Spirit Center and everyone on earth, relating unconditional love, support, nurturing the principles of dominion. We particularly see this in the warring factions of the nations around the earth, and in Africa where domination is breaking down civilization. We prompt the leaders, the positive leaders, to come forward. To rise in position of power, to where dominion can be established on earth. And so it is. Bring your awareness back into your own reality now. Look at your own physical situation. Use this energy now to heal yourselves and anyone you want to direct healing to. And to your financial situations, so that you can attract what you need. And so you can help others in their need. And we do this in unconditional love. Let a wave of love go around the world now as your hearts open up. You feel everyone lifting through the frequency ranges from the third to the fourth dimension as you learn to recognize the power of love and dominion. And so it is. Bring your awareness back up your spine now, back up into your psychic center, through the soul center, back out into this physical world. Okay, Dave, we're back.
So soon?
Yeah, we moved very rapidly this morning because we had to get that golden grid supported, and so we went right into that, and as soon as we felt the shift and Diva started working with us, it went very rapidly, and interestingly enough, rather than stimulating earthquakes, there was less earthquake energy to work with today. So we pulled up anything that's building, and it seemed to stabilize out. It all felt much better by the time we got the balance back into the golden grid and the earthquake grid again. So Gary Warder is watching the sunspots very closely, and he gave us warning of what has already occurred and what could happen in the past, so we'll be better prepared now.
I apologize for cutting off Gary's friend who tried to call in several times to listen, but I do not have a call-in to listen number, and I'm not going to have one.
Actually, I think it was Mike, our permanent member, who was he's in Milwaukee right now.
I apologize because I misunderstood.
It doesn't matter. We did well as we could. What an interesting day. I'm still feeling a weakness. Does anyone else feel that? Like a weakness in the energy fields?
I am experiencing something that I have never experienced before. Hang on, let me move my mic out here where I can talk a little bit louder. And that is, all kinds of strange things are happening. And I'm not sure what to make of it.
Well, I'm looking at the astrological influences right now, and at the present time, there are no exact aspects. And that's part of this feeling of floating in a sea with no support, because we don't have astrological energy supporting us at this time. This is a very unusual, weird time.
I think we got a full moon coming up too, pretty soon.
Yeah, that's tomorrow.
Yesterday I went to the VA for a ultrasound examination of my heart. The only thing they found wrong was a slight leaky valve. And that was after 7 years on Plavix, when I had a nasty enlarged shaver and 3 leaky valves. So the all-natural supplements are taking care of that.
Good, great.
And we are now working on this swollen leg things because we found out a whole bunch more about it. And we're hoping to get that up and activated fully within the next week. Mm-hmm. Because there's no reason for it. Except there's several hundred people around the world who have come down with it.
We must have a cause.
Really? You think so?
Everything has a cause.
Yeah, and the VA said, well, we can put you in here and fill you full of antibiotics. I said, treating a symptom, not a cause. I said, why? That's like I went down there. I'm supposed to get paid 80 miles down and 80 miles back. They pay me for 80 miles down. So I got to find out why, because I signed the right paperwork yesterday. This is one of those. This is one. Oh, I have a footstool here. I put my feet on, and I was thinking about things when I was down at Costco yesterday. So I bought a 3/4 size bed foam topper. When I get done, I will have 6 inches of foam, not a pillow. That'll be much nicer.
Don't get too comfortable, though.
I just want the freaking pains to go away.
Yeah.
But I'm in a much better mood than I was yesterday.
All right. I hope you can feel from the group and everyone listening, there's a supportive field of energy coming, and we're just wrapping you in it. And it's not like we're forcing you to heal. It's like clearing the causative factors that you mentioned out of your aura. And I'm seeing black regions in your aura that we're clearing right now. And those are old thought forms and things and possibly even psychic attacks. So we're clearing those out to bring your general health back into more vitality.
I am so appreciative, Frank, of you and your group that I can't even begin to express my appreciation.
Well, we work best on requests. When you have a need, let us know. Otherwise, we have to have your permission to work with you. Although we know we have that, so we're doing that now. I'm feeling an incredible flow of energy come out of my hands. I know everyone is that's tuned to us right now. Just wrapping Dave in a beautiful green aura.
There go my hands getting red again.
Yeah.
I told you about that, Frank.
Yeah.
If you can enjoy what you're doing, it's like I told this young man and gave me the ultrasound yesterday. His name's JC. He said, "You have wolves?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I'd love to come up." So I gave him my address and phone number. I said, "If you want to hear what's really going on in the world, tune in to wolfspiritradio.com. Listen on the main page." He said, "What kind of music do you play?" I said, "I have an esoteric talk station that deals in one thing called the truth." And golly, we've been together almost over 2 years, Frank.
Yes, we have. And our introduction was when I did the healing on those knees that virtually had you incapacitated because you're an old paratrooper, 2,300 parachute jumps or something like that. And that happened the first time we ever talked, and that showed the attunement that we have, Dave.
It's interesting. Going through the swelling, I was swelled clear up over my hips. Now the swelling is back down to my knees. But I was sitting here one time and I was doing something, and all of a sudden I felt bones in my right knee move around so hard I cried. And I haven't felt much pain in it since then. But that was over 2 years ago. I made over 2,700 jumps. They wanted to replace my knees 12 years ago.
Jeez.
I said, when I get where I can't walk, I'll think about it.
Yeah, that must be pretty hard on the knees.
Well, what's interesting is I always wore good boots with proper supports.
Mm-hmm.
See, when you pop a chute, you go down, you come up, and you go back down. Well, there's too many occasions on that second time back down I touched the ground. Didn't get hurt, but I thought, kept saying, you know, Creator, Mother, and Father, why are you taking such good care of me? I said, because we kind of like you. Is there anything else I can do for you today, Frank?
No, we're just pouring energy into you. We're doing for you.
Believe me, I feel it.
Yeah, you're lightening up. Consider your voice is even getting better.
You know, it's interesting because my throat is killing me. And I found out because there's 30,000 things in your lungs that are not getting enough oxygen output.
All right, let's open those lungs up then. You may feel a tingling sensation in your lungs as we open those alveoli and clear the damage done by smoking. Just notice a breath now when you take a breath. Now the next breath, breathe a little deeper, like a quarter deeper. Let that out. Now the next breath, breathe half deeper. Fill up half your lungs and feel them expand, the upper part. Now let that out and expand the lower part by breathing just as deeply as you possibly can now. And hold it. And feel your lungs just expand. Everything come back into normal. Now let that out, and as you resume breathing, you're getting your oxygen again that you need for your throat. Does your throat feel better?
Feels like it's on fire.
All right. All right, I'm seeing kind of a mixture of blue and turquoise energy coming into your throat now.
I don't know what that is, but it certainly is nice and cool.
Well, it's a cooling, healing energy. Now there's magenta coming in to actually do the healing. Take that all the way down into your lungs also to clear your bronchial tubes. Just visualize that blue color as being the blue of glacier ice. Feel glacier ice, coolness, that turquoise blue, iridescent, clear glacier coolness coming into your throat, down into your lungs. You feel the lungs relax, expanding, and the throat expanding also. All right, let go of the fear, of all fear, for your health. Just know you're okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
And we will see you Saturday morning, come hell or high water.
Okay, Dave, thank you. See the rest of you on the Stellar Group.